Oh my
Uh,
gosh, that's funny.
and so, the rain, it was still raining, but it slowed down enough for him to come out and start playing again. And he came
Mhm.
out and like hugged everyone and was like singing directly to us. And like, man, it was so cool. But yeah, he never stops talking. Like I've seen him a couple times.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
you're right. It's funny that you said that. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw him opening up in Matchbox 20
Oh,
like
nice.
years ago.
Yeah.
A long time ago. But yeah, and I remember like that guy. Yeah, he was. I'm like, man, this guy's awesome. He's cracking jokes like the whole time. And he's like, my name
Yeah.
is Matt Nathanson. He goes, most of you don't even know my name. And he was just making all kinds of really funny jokes. And he had such good comedic timing. He had such good comedic timing. He had such good like he was just so funny. And I was like, man, like that's and you remember that when you walk away from the show, like you don't forget that stuff. Like
Right.
I remember there's a YouTube video real quick. I'll tell you like that he did where they did "Shook Me All Night Long." One of his guitar
Oh,
players
yeah.
just played the riff,
Yeah.
right? And then the crowd
Yeah.
started singing it, and then
Right.
they had to play the song because the crowd started singing it. And then you know at the end he's like, "Fuck, man, never play that song ever." Like and not come into it. Like it was great. Like
That's
so
awesome.
funny.
Yeah,
Is
it's
he?
funny. The first time I saw him, I was actually supposed to go to Coldplay,
Okay.
but they pulled out. And
Okay.
then I had asked the girl to go with me as friends, but she didn't understand it was as friends. So she
Oh.
was like, since the concert's sold out, you can come over to my house and I can cook you dinner. And then I understood. And I was like, I have to find something for us to do. So, so I wasn't alone in her house. We ended up being really, really good friends and stuff, but it was just an awkward start. And we ended up, Carbon Leaf and Matt Nathanson were playing, and I
Okay.
didn't know who either one of them were, but I just went and I fell in love with both bands. Like at the time, Matt didn't have anything on the radio, and he was like,
Oh, this is okay.
he was like, "This is my biggest hit. If you guys know me, it's because of this song, and it's not even my song." And he played "Laid" because it was our
Oh wow.
back. Yeah, so he played "Laid," and and I was like, "Oh, right on! I know this song. I don't know his version of this song, but I know this song." But yeah, I
Yeah.
ended up with a bunch of his CDs after that, and like really getting into him. And then he broke out like shortly after that show, like with "Come On Get Higher" and stuff.
Yeah,
So
come on, get high. And this that melody is so good. Oh my God. That's such a good
yeah,
melody.
stuff like that. When you hear melodies like that, it's just like,
Oh
oh,
my God. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sick.
I like one of his later records. That's a song faster, faster. I like that. Like he has, I really like his approach to songwriting. He's a songwriter. He really is. He's a songwriter. You know, it's a shame that he never really took off the way that
Yeah,
you know he just never get that traction. You know,
right.
or the support from his label. I mean, you know, I mean that's a whole ball. That's a whole nother ball of wax. Like,
Sure.
you know.
I think those two albums. Um, I think one's called Mad World and the other one's called Fireworks. I think those are the two albums that he had the biggest chance. You know what I mean? Like I think he was getting on the radio and people were paying attention. Car
Mhm.
crash. Man, you couldn't for a while. Every time you turned the radio on, you couldn't get away from that song. It's a great song, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that those were his biggest chances to if it was going to happen. But still, I
Yeah.
mean, tour. He's got really devoted fans,
Yep, he
and
does.
so I mean, I
And
love it.
that's the thing, right? Like, okay, maybe he didn't blow up in like that crazy superstar way, but he has a career,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah, truly.
who wouldn't sign up for that? I'd sign up for that. I can tour throughout the year, and I can, you know, it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not living on, you know, I'm not driving a Ferrari, but who needs to drive a
right.
Ferrari anyway? They're too fucking expensive, right?
Yeah,
But like, I'm living the life that I dreamed of. Like,
absolutely.
great,
And
right?
like he plays with Blue October and Switchfoot and gets to play a
Yeah,
giant freaking amphitheater. You know what I mean?
exactly,
And but
exactly,
it's intimate
exactly.
enough that he can come out and hug everybody. I mean, that's gotta be cool. You know what I
That
mean?
is, it's funny, guys. I saw a video with him a couple days ago because he's on my Instagram, and he's like, he was pissed off at somebody because they were talking throughout the show, and it was annoying to. He was like, I can hear you. He's like,
Yeah,
I can hear you. He's like, and he's like, I'm not joking. He's like, if you're not gonna stop talking, I'm not gonna play because other people here aren't enjoying themselves because all I hear is you, and I'm up here and I can hear you. I was like, whoa! It's like, don't piss
man.
that guy off. you know.
Right.
But sometimes it's warranted, man. Sometimes it's just like because again, you're there for them, right? And if somebody's, I mean, how many times have you been at a show? I'm sure you have, where just a couple, like somebody next to you is talking throughout the show. It's annoying, man. It's like, dude, I want to hear the music. If you didn't come here to listen to music and sing along, then why are you even here? Like,
Yeah.
why did you waste your money, right? And so, like, it's happened to all of us. That's the most annoying thing. And it was great to see that he was like, nah, I'm not having this. He's like, you're either gonna
Yeah.
stop talking or I'm not playing because these people deserve better, you know. And
Right.
I appreciate that. Like when you see an artist do that, like they because he gets it, you know. It's like these people chose to spend their hard-earned money to go to go spend time with him to watch him perform, and they should get that in return, right? They should get their money's worth, right? Not
Yeah.
somebody freaking talking about whatever. Who cares? You can talk when you're done with the show.
Right.
Talk
Exactly.
later.
Yeah. I saw Sugar Ray last summer, and at this point, they're a legacy, you know. But
Yes.
I also saw him in 2003, which was amazing. Like honestly, that's a whole other story that would take a while to tell. But I basically Mark McGrath pulled me on stage with them when
Oh,
I
nice.
three. Yeah, it was incredible. But when I saw him last summer, there was a person right next to me yelling "Play RPM" like the whole time, and it was
Oh
so
gosh.
irritating. And then finally, he said, "Yeah, we're not going to play that song tonight." He like
Mm.
actually said it to them, and then they still kept doing it. And I was just like, they don't get the hint, man. But yeah,
Uh,
like uh but yeah, when I saw them in 2003 or four, whichever it was, they were still so good. Like they were at the top of their game, and it was still the original band. Um,
mm.
and
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, they used to
There's
do
a
well.
sorry.
They used to do this contest where they bring people on stage to see how they worked the crowd, basically, and it was
Oh, that is awesome. That is
so he
awesome.
you have to do that because it was at a casino, and I was the only person dancing. Like I
Oh my
actually got
gosh.
the side of the stage and danced. And so he like came over and fist bumped me a couple times during the show, and then he was like, "You have to come up here," and so he pulled me up. But it was
That
fun,
is
man. Yeah.
that's like when I went to see Stone Temple Pilots when they were opening up for Megadeth.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay,
I saw
that's
them
interesting.
at the Count Basie Theater in New Jersey, and it's maybe 1,000 seat venue. This was before they blew up. This was right before Plush came out, and
Okay.
so
Wow.
yeah, so I go and I'm one of the only people. First of all, there was like almost nobody there for them because they were the opening act, and
Yeah.
I'm the only person dancing and having a good time and jumping up and
Right.
down, you know. And then Scott Whelan's like, man, you would think people were watching Bambi up in this place. Like he was like nobody like cared. I was like, I care. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
here. I care. I'm like, you guys are fucking awesome. Like I like, and then like literally, I want to say about a month later, Plush hit, and then that was it. And but Megadeth was amazing. Watch, I mean,
True.
oh my god, dude, holy
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
They played that what record was that? The I don't remember. I don't know why the name's it's escaping me, but they played that record note for note. Like
Oh.
everything was perfect. Like
Oh.
there was no it was exactly but as you know, like with metal, if you don't play exactly like the record, people want to kill you. Like even Metallica, like even
Right.
Metallica, like they asked Kirk Hammett, they're like, do you ever like play like the solos a little different? He goes, no. Are you
Oh.
crazy? He's like, I
No.
play exactly like the record every single time because if
Right.
I play it differently, they'll kill me. Like
Yeah.
I cannot not play it that way. You
Yeah.
know, like there's a
Yeah.
code.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There's definitely a code. Like you can't like no, you don't improvise. You don't improvise those songs. You play them exactly how people hear them because that's why they got into the song in the first place. You
Right.
know?
I don't remember who it was, but I saw this guitar player doing an interview where he said, I wish I could remember who it was. It might have been Joe Perry, but he said that he improvises the solos on the Aerosmith songs. I think it was, and then goes back and has to learn them. And he
Yeah, yeah.
goes
Joe
for
Perry. Yep, he does do
yeah, he
that.
goes note for note so he can actually play them live. But when he's recording it, he doesn't know what he's playing. He just plays whatever feels right, and then he has to go
Which
back
is
and yeah, he's just
very cool.
man. Oh, jeez, Joe
By the
Perry.
way, by the way, the
Yeah.
record, Megadeth record, rest in peace. That's what it was. That was
Oh,
the
okay.
record.
Yeah. I was gonna guess, but there's so many. Like,
Yeah,
I'll just
but yeah, I heard the
yeah,
same
Rush
thing about
is a great
Kirk too.
album. Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god, that is such a great metal record, man. Oh my god, that's such a great record. Like
I mean, my
that's
favorite probably P cells, but you know,
P cells. No, that's also good. That's also good. There's so many good. It's funny. There's so many like when you go think about it, there's so many good metal records in the
right,
past.
right, right.
Like Countdown to Extinction was really that's a
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah, I mean,
but
so far so good. P cells,
Select, yeah.
Countdown to Extinction, and the one out Euthanasia. Yeah, those are like that's for just man, killer albums.
Yeah, really great music. Like, and it really like I know my parents were like that's noise, but not that's not that's not noise,
Yeah,
people
yeah,
go, what are you listening to? I remember Linkin Park. I remember I picked up my dad at the airport once, and I had Linkin Park playing in the car, and I'm seeing
yeah.
him, and he's like My dad's like, what are you listening to? This is noise.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, dad.
Sure,
Dude,
you're not.
Hybrid Theory. That
Mm,
Linkin Park's first record,
yeah,
Hybrid Theory. That record. When I heard that record,
it's too, man. It's tight, you know.
that record is so perfect. Like
Yeah,
every sound, everything. That record was produced in a way. It was just perfect. Like the everything on that record just sounds so amazing. I remember when I heard that record the first time, I was just like, "This is where
yeah,
music is going." Like, holy shit! Like, it just blew my mind. Like, it was just mind blowing. Even now, I put on that record and I'm running, and I'll
right.
listen to it. Like that's still one of my favorite. Every song, it was just so well put together. Like it was just everything was just boom, 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 boom. Every song on that record technically could be a hit. Like or is a hit.
Right.
Like technically, that I just the engineering in that record. I gotta look it up. I wonder if they won awards for the production of that record because like the
So
sound
yeah,
design of that record is just incredible. Like
yeah.
I mean,
It's
you're hearing things over here in the distance. Little like it's just there's so much minutia in there that makes it and the guitar sound, the way
oh man,
those oh my
yeah,
god those tones, holy
yep,
shit! When I heard
crazy.
those, oh my god that's up there with Nirvana's Nevermind, like
Mm,
the
yeah,
the
yeah,
the way that his voice sounds, like the way they even process his voice on that record. Oh my god! Like, and the guitars, like, yeah, I know Teen Spirit, but you listen to that
sure,
tone. It's such a
right.
great, like, it's such a great tone. Like how they, like,
I
and
mean,
what happens? We go copy those tones. We get into we get our guitar things, and we like, oh, okay, we try to make it sound like that. But
yeah, and
like, you know, but like, yeah,
yeah,
those. There's something about the way they made those records, man. Like how amazing and how clear it sounded too. Like that was one of the first real records where Hybrid Theory was so like you hear it and everything. That's what I love
yeah.
about it. Is that you could hear everything. It wasn't muddy, you know.
That's what I think about music when you can hear every instrument and every for a while because like I said that album is a tight 30 minutes with like punch. That was my
Yeah,
workout album. Like I could
yeah,
put in
same.
and do a 6 minute workout and it got me going and yeah
Yep,
that was my workout album when I was younger. And
same.
man, as far as Nevermind, like I think the melodies on that album are
Yeah,
so underrated, like Drain You. And I mean,
great.
you know,
Oh, Lithium. Oh my god, dude. Like,
it's just people are just like, oh, he's just mumbling and oh man, he may not have been a great singer, but he was an amazing melody writer.
yeah.
He could construct amazing songs. Just and I don't think he was a bad singer personally.
No, I mean,
but yeah,
he fit the band. Like he was the perfect singer for that band. Like that
yeah,
was like no one else could do what he was doing in that situation. He was the perfect singer for that band. I always say that when someone goes, "Oh, that guy's like a singer." No, I'm like, no, he's the perfect singer for this band. It's not about your range. It's like Skid Row. You remember Skid Row?
oh,
Sebastian
of course,
Bach was the perfect singer for Skid Row. Wow,
yeah,
man, I'm going way back, right? Like he was the perfect singer for Skid Row. Like no one could go up there and do what he did and do what he did. If it wasn't for him doing what he did, Skid Row would never have any hit songs. It would
absolutely,
never have worked. They would never have. It didn't matter. Eddie Vedder, he was the perfect singer for Pearl Jam,
yeah,
and they had
for sure.
a different singer before him, right? And
Right,
like
right,
like he was the perfect singer for Pearl Jam. It doesn't matter that he's like you don't understand half the shit he's saying, right? It
right.
doesn't, but that doesn't matter. It's he. I saw him and I saw him a few years ago. He still, I mean, he still sounds incredible. Like I was just like, wow, like he did not skip a beat, man. Like they all look older, but
Right.
man, it's still Pearl Jam. Like
Dude,
he's
you're talking about seeing a band that's been playing live for 20 or 30 years. I mean, they know what
mhm,
they're doing. Like it's
yeah,
tight. I mean,
yeah, it's
it's cool to watch a young band go out there with all the energy but man, if you go see a band that's been on tour for that
mhm.
long, you're gonna see an amazing show. But
Oh, absolutely.
and speaking about that whole can't sing, can sing thing. So I don't know if you remember Billy Idol put out an EP called Don't Stop in the early 80s. And the
Okay,
flip side of it was an interview with Martha Quinn from MTV.
okay.
And and he said I don't remember what the question was, but he said Mick Jagger can't sing, Robert Plant can. But do I listen to Robert Plant? No, I listen to Mick Jagger because he can't sing and he sounds fucking great.
I mean, but that's what it is. Like that's why I hate it when people go, "Oh, this person." Like, no, bro. It's not that they can. It's not about like, come on, because if that's the case, like half the artists that have made millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
I mean, look at Britney Spears. Like, yeah, she's not the best singer, right?
Right.
But but she knows how to she's a
You know?
package. She's put together well. She knows how to perform. She knows how to put together. She knows how to perform, do a good show. Like that's what you're going there for. You're not going there. You're not like I hate that. I always be like haters, man. Like why you hating? Like who cares? Like these people are perfect for what they're doing. That's why they're doing it. Right?
Right.
If like somebody saw dollar signs and said I'm gonna invest in that because that is something that people are gonna really dig
Yeah.
and that's what a lot of that is a result of, right? It's like it's a lot of it is a result of just somebody just hearing and hearing something in something and and bringing whatever that is that energy out to everyone else
Yeah.
and that it can be more, it can be bigger, it can be better. That's really what it's about. It's not about like like because we could sit here all day and harp about people. Oh, that person ain't talented. That person ain't talented. And you know what? That person's talented enough to be living in Beverly Hills and driving this car and doing this and making all this kind of money, and they're getting paid for what they're for no talent. So hey, you
Yeah.
know. So
And there's
what's that mean, right?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I hate it. Like when people harp on it because to me it's almost like not to get personal, but to me it's almost like you're harping about your own insecurities is what it is. Right?
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's like, well, I wasn't good enough to do that, but they suck. Really? Because they're doing it.
Right.
Well, I'm like, wow, they must suck real bad because they're doing it and they're getting paid for it. What are you doing? You're sitting here
Yeah.
complaining about how they suck.
Yeah.
I always shied away from people like that. I always try to keep myself away from that energy of people whenever I see people overanalyzing something or being too analytical about about a performance or something. I'm like, dude, just enjoy it. Like, be happy that you're here witnessing this. What you're witnessing is like something awesome. Like this person's sitting here singing their heart out or performing, playing their heart out. Like, enjoy that shit. Like, don't sit here and be like, yeah, but they flubbed the note. Yeah, you know what? You're the only person in the whole room that heard them flub that note. Everybody else
Right.
in this place did not give a shit because they're sitting here enjoying it. Like, who
Sure.
cares?
Yeah.
I got friends like that, and they're not even really my friends anymore. I don't even really hang out with them. I don't talk to them anymore. So I'm just like, they always got something to say about what you did wrong, and I'm just like, no, it's not. It's like, oh, you flubbed this note, or you forgot the verse on here, or you did this, or this person did this. Like, was
Yeah.
it? Did you have fun?
Right.
you
Yeah.
know? I
Yeah.
mean, when I saw Coldplay a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
Chris Martin messed up the second verse to Yellow, right?
Um, yeah.
No one noticed but him because
Right.
because everybody's singing along and, and
Yeah.
and all of a sudden like he kind of stops and looks at the drummer and like and I'm like, why did he do that for? Like, why did he stop? Did he want to and then at the end of the song he's like, I've been singing this song for 20 years and this is the first time that I messed up the second verse. Nobody gave a shit. Everyone
Right.
was just happy and singing along and having a good ass time. Nobody cared. If he wouldn't have said anything, nobody would have noticed. Nobody
Yeah.
cared.
Yeah.
Nobody cared, and that's the thing. It's like we're not there. You're there to just have a good time. That's
Yeah.
what. You gotta just enjoy the show and enjoy it wherever you're at, you know? Sorry, ran over.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, no, I have a friend who's a metalhead, um, and if he doesn't like music, it's bad. And I don't,
Oh, come on, who doesn't have friends like that?
yeah, I don't understand that because it's like, first of all, there's music I don't like, for
Of
sure.
course.
But I also believe that there's room for everything. I mean, I listen to pop music and classical music and metal and funk and ska and jazz. I mean, I have 5,000 CDs. There's not a genre of music that I don't own, and it's just
Yeah.
like I don't get not being able to find something good, I just
Oh.
don't like I don't like Poison, okay? But I
Poison. I used to
read
love Poison, dude. I used to love that
I
band.
mean, some people do. I just when I was into the grittier stuff like Bang Tango and Junkyard and stuff
See,
like
but
that.
I like them too. I used to love them. Warrant. I saw Warrant live, dude.
Yeah,
After I saw them live, I became a believer. I'm like, these guys are legit. Like they got skills. Like they could
and
play.
some were live too, like back in '91, I think it was. But but my point was going to be, even though I don't like Poison, I understand their appeal. And
Yeah.
I get the songs that they write. They're party songs. They get people
Yeah.
happy. They're for it's like Loverboy but less crunchy.
Yeah.
That's why I like Loverboy because they have
Exactly.
punchy guitars. That's why I like Loverboy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just not my kind of music. But just because it's not my kind of music, that doesn't mean
Then it's
it's
bad.
yeah, doesn't mean it's bad. It just means I don't like them. Which. But yeah, my buddy, dude. Oh my gosh, like this is terrible. This sucks. We got into a discussion about Justin Bieber because he said Justin Bieber wasn't a good singer. And I
Justin
said,
Bieber's
bro,
actually he's a good singer actually.
yeah. And then it turned into like Usher's also not a good singer.
Are you crazy? Usher is,
Like,
dude.
dude, you have to understand that fundamentally, these people are good singers. They may not
Are
be music that you like, but fundamentally, you cannot say they're bad singers. And this was like a 40-minute back and forth.
wow. That's. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been there. I've had these conversations with friends, so I get it. I can empathize. But that's
Yeah.
crazy. Because sometimes it just makes you go, wait, what?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Like, can you hear
you
just
don't hear the
and
yeah,
go,
like
oh, not a good singer? Like that doesn't make
you don't hear the nuance in what this person is doing. Like there's a lot of nuance there, and that's what it is. It's like it's about nuance. It's like
yeah,
they're approaching it and they're doing things that make the song better, and you don't even know why you like the song now. You just know that you like the tone of his voice and you like the way he's singing that melody and he's
yeah.
doing that. And like, that's what makes a good singer, right? Like, I mean, well, let me not say that what makes a good singer. Like, a good singer is a person that knows. I see. It's very subjective. Like, a good singer is subjective, right? It's like you kind of get to know what fits. And I think that just
Right,
comes with experience. Like, like I'm writing a bass line for a song. Like, I know that if I'm playing, that's not going to fit, right? On
yeah,
something because it's too much. I know the less you play, the better. The more like less is always more. I always
right,
say, right? And
right.
and that's one thing I've learned over the years is you don't need to jam everything into everything. You need to let things breathe. That's why I love lo-fi because it just breathes.
Yeah,
You just breathe, man. It's just you just let it breathe, right?
right,
And you don't like and I think that's awesome. But that can apply with a lot. And like guys like Bieber and Usher, they know when to let the song breathe. They know when to do their thing. And they know when to back off. Like they know they know that. And like you can't hate on that. Like why would
and
you? Just appreciate it for what it is. Like everything
to
has its place, right?
yeah, to me,
Everything
stuff
has
like that is an extension of Smokey Robinson and the R&B. Like, there's so much stuff that they call R&B now that doesn't fit into what my brain processes as R&B. But Usher and Justin Bieber and Neo and people like that, I think they carry on the
yes,
actual
they do.
shit. You know what I mean?
They do.
Music, Child, Anthony Hamilton, those guys are carrying on the actual tradition of old school R&B, and to dismiss that because it has pop elements or whatever is just
It's
ridiculous.
it's like yeah, because what is pop, right?
Yeah.
Pop is whatever everyone is listening to in mass,
You know?
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
pop could be and that it's very subjective. Like music in general, like art is subjective, right? But pop is whatever, like because pop when I was a kid is completely different than what pop is today,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Like EDM was pop for a while and now it's not anymore. Like it's so confusing. It's like what you know? Like
Yeah.
country music, don't even get me started on country. I don't because like
Music.
I hear country that's not like the typical country that sounds
Yeah.
like a pop song to me. And
Right. Sure.
they're like, no, that's country. I'm like, that sounds like a pop song. That don't sound
Yeah.
like country. No, that's country. Like adult
Yeah.
contemporary is basically country music at this point. Like that's what it's like that same sound, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's like the Counting Crows came out today, they'd be country. Like,
Sure.
I
Have
don't know. Huh?
you heard the Counting Crows' new album?
Uh I don't think I have, no.
Yeah, they just put out an album a couple weeks ago, but
Oh
it's
really? Oh my gosh. I did not.
something new. So it's funny that you brought them up because they just yeah. But
Oh wow. I just looked it up. Wow.
yeah,
Okay, Butter Miracle, The Complete
yep, that's it.
Squeeze. Okay.
Yeah. But it's
Yeah, no,
wild.
they're one of my
There's
favorite bands.
I love Counting Crows. I saw them live years ago.
Same, same.
Yeah, and they were so good. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean, when I love Tom Petty and I love Van Morrison, and I feel like if you took Tom Petty and Van Morrison, you'd have Counting Crows.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's
No,
that's yeah, yeah,
I could see that. Like, yeah, they did a live record, like an acoustical live record.
yeah, yeah.
So one
I'm
of my
back.
still one of my favorite records of all time. Like, I just love the vibe and like I love the musicianship of it because
Absolutely. Yeah.
those guys are players, man. Like they're riffing on their own songs and they're making them into they're making them even better. Like it's
Right.
just like but yeah, I remember I worked at a record store when their first record came out, August and everything after, and it was on rotation. So I knew that record upside down, forward and backward. And it never got the weird part is like you never got sick of hearing it.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
got sick of hearing that record.
I love songs that are built on rhythm. So
Mm-hmm.
like Murder of One, you
Mm-hmm.
know, oh
Yeah,
man, just it just carries you, and
does. You're
yeah,
right. You're right.
my
That's
favorite thing.
funny. I'm gonna give
Yeah.
this a listen to tonight. Now after we're done, I'm gonna put it on and listen to it. I haven't. I kind of fell out. Like I heard Adrian Dirch speak on Rogan a couple of years ago, I
Okay.
think, and he was so interesting.
Yeah.
He was such an interesting dude.
Yeah.
Um, but but then I kind of fell away from the Counting Crows because also you also kind of got to be in a certain state of mind to listen to them too. You got to be in
Yeah.
that reflective retro. You got to be in that kind of reflective kind of mindset. Driving like
Yeah.
I always say you got to be driving to New England in the fall, driving to Boston in the fall to have them
Sure.
on. Because then everything it fits perfectly. It's the perfect
Right.
soundtrack. The leaves are changing and everything. Like they're the perfect band for the fall. They're a fall band. But
Right.
I think the last record I listened to was Hard Candy. That was
Oh, sure.
and
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
course and of course the Shrek. But
I I I picked up Saturday nights and Sunday mornings.
okay,
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. There wasn't any like big hits on it or anything, but it's definitely a cool little. It's like a double album, and it's
okay,
yeah. I think
yeah.
that's what. If that's not right, then I apologize, but I
No,
think that.
no, no. I'm gonna look up their discography and no Saturday Night Cinema. No, I did hear that record. I
Yeah,
actually I'm looking it up now. Yeah, I have heard that record. Yeah.
it's pretty. I mean, like it's more subtle than
Mm.
a lot of their earlier
Yeah.
stuff. Really cool, man. Yeah,
1492 is a really good track. I that was the first track on the record. That's a really really good song. Yeah,
yeah,
no, I do actually. So I did get past Hard Candy. So
cool.
sorry, my bad.
You're good, bro.
That's just what came to mind.
Yeah.
Um,
No, Hard
but
Candy was great though. The hidden cover of Big Yellow Taxi, and
yep. But those dude, they're such a deep band. He's such a deep song. Like his songs are just so just like he's like the Tori. He's like it's almost like it's like listening to Tori Amos. And I say
oh,
Tori because I was in a coffee shop yesterday and they were playing Tori Amos for some reason, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't heard this in who knows how long, you know?
right. What's
So
what's incredible about Tori is her newer stuff, like everything after kind of the second album, she
Mm.
turned her voice into an instrument.
Oh,
Like
really?
Michael Stipe, like half the time you can't really understand what she's saying,
Okay.
but she just kind of blends her voice into the music.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Okay.
it's really cool. Michael Stipe actually said that he uh, doesn't sing the lyrics clearly on purpose because he doesn't want the lyrics to distract from the mood that they're creating with the song. And I thought that was such a weird thing,
Oh.
but I
No, but
guess
there's
it's
something there's something to that because I'm notorious for fudging lyrics when I do a
right.
cover song.
Oh,
I
sure.
never get the lyrics right. All my friends always throughout my whole life, all my friends like a lot of them are like they don't have the heart to tell me I'm singing it wrong, so they'll just let me sing the song with my own. I make up my own words because I hear the melody I get the melody perfect, but
Right,
whatever I'm singing in between there, like I'll get a couple of the words, but I'm just
right.
singing whatever comes to mind unless I have the lyrics in front of me. And
Yeah.
like there's something about that. Like it's like I guess like I think in rhythms and beats, right?
Hmm. For sure.
To
Yeah.
me, words, and I'm not like putting down lyrics or whatever because I write lyrics, but to me,
Right.
it's like words. It's word salad to me, right? It's like when I hear a song, a few words will stick out to me, but it's not. That's not what's resonating with me personally.
Yeah.
What's resonating with me is the melody and the sound of what's coming at me. That's what's resonating with me. It's making me feel something. Like if the bass is like really, really low and it's rumbly, like, or if the guitar is playing this really cool lick, like that's what resonates with me. I hear the lyrics, but I hear them, but I don't hear them. Like they don't, it doesn't really register. Everything else does. Like I could hear a song once and I could go back and hum the whole song to you after hearing it. I remember, but I can't tell you exactly. I can't tell you anything they said. I don't like
That's
what's the song about. No idea. But
yeah.
I can tell you like four measures in, this kicks in. Like eight
Right.
measures in, this happens, and this little thing pops up there. I can tell you all that. I could break the song apart and I can tell you everything. But I cannot. But I can't tell you what. I can tell you what they were singing. I don't like. My brain just doesn't care. My brain is
There's
like my brain is
yeah.
like, nah, because I was too busy listening to the boom, 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 I was listening to
Right.
that,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but so I get that. Like, there's something about how that for me, it's about a feel. It's about how it feels,
Yeah,
you
for
know.
sure. I mean, there's songs that I absolutely love, and all I know is like half of the first verse because I have
Same.
to get kind of lost in the song. And I'll be
Yeah.
like, it'll come in and I'll sing it, and then I'm just done with the singing part, and I'm just kind of
It's like,
jamming.
oh yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, I can't tell you how many times people, whenever I'm at friends and there's a guitar there, and like somebody goes, play more than words, you know, and
Oh, sure.
so I'll play like the first part of it,
Yeah.
and then it gets to the next verse, and I'm like, I have no idea who wants to sing it, like, I don't know, I know the na 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 na, that's it, it's no melody, so it's pretty funny, but it's like,
The second song. I definitely know the first verse and the last verse. I don't know if I know the second or not,
yeah,
but
I don't remember the second
just one
verse.
of my favorite bands in high school. Like I loved Extreme, and
Man, they were great musicians, man.
yeah, I saw them live with David Lee Roth and Cinderella.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh, Cinderella. Wow.
a couple times. Yeah,
Somebody shake me. They were like his voice
yeah,
was very unique, I will say.
yeah. I love it. It was so gravelly but high and like yeah,
Yeah.
very good stuff.
He was very different from what other people were doing.
Yeah,
Like
for
what he
sure.
was doing. Like they were very different. They were
Yeah,
very I love I love their guitars, man. Like
that yeah, that's what drew me to a lot of the bands I liked in the '80s. Like if the guitars had some extra distortions and some crunch to it, that was the those were the bands that I really liked.
or
I
Def
wasn't.
Leppard, Hysteria.
Man, well, Pyromania is mine. Like, oh,
Oh,
I
see,
feel like I
I got
don't.
into that after.
Okay, so Hysteria was obviously like they exploded.
Yeah.
I feel like Pyromania was the perfect balance. Like they were
Mhm.
still heavy and doing some more metal stuff, but they were really exploring the pop side of it too on that album. And it's just, I feel like Hysteria tipped up more towards the radio friendly, which was, I mean, still a great record, man. Love
Mhm.
Bite, and I mean, there's just some great songs on that. But
No,
man,
that whole,
Yeah.
That whole record, in my opinion, was the whole record was good. Like I remember listening to that record that
Yeah.
like on repeat, the whole album, like not even like wanting to like listen to one song particularly more than the other. Just wanted to hear it. It just sounded so good as a record, and
Yeah.
I mean, Power Mania, it was more raw. It had
Yeah.
more of a raw,
Yeah.
unproduced sound, and then the story was very produced, very,
Yeah.
very, very. I mean, Bob Rock. I mean, it was
Yeah.
very, 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 very produced sound.
Produced Pyromania though, right? I mean,
I'm sorry.
like
Did he do Power Mania? I
what?
don't remember.
Maybe not. I thought he did.
I
I'm
know he
pretty
did Hysteria
okay.
because everything he touches is gold. So Bob Rock walks into the room and
Yeah.
says, "Hey, I'm producing a record."
I mean, man,
Like
he gave Metallica like a whole entire new sound
he
that put
did,
the
and they needed it. And a lot of people hate it, but they have
yeah,
to
yeah,
evolve. Like you can't be doing the same thing.
songs, and become what they became, unfortunately. And
Yeah,
it's just not
one of the best things that I heard Metallica say was you could put 10 Metallica fans in the room and ask them
uh-huh.
what their favorite song is, and you're gonna get 10 different songs.
Mine's
Uh,
Sanitarium.
yeah, mine's is Master of Puppets.
Oh, nice, great song. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they're on the same
ugh.
so
Huh?
so they're on the same album. So
Yeah, they are on
Sanitarium,
the
that's
same album.
Master of Puppets. So
Or
yeah.
or or what was that other song? You do what I do, back to the front. Na
Oh
na
yeah,
na. That's on that record too.
that was
That's I
literally
love.
also on that album. So yeah,
Yeah,
Master of
that was on the
Puppets
record
is the
too.
fucking masterpiece. It's got Orion and
Yep.
Disposable Heroes, Sanitarium, Master of Puppets. It's just oh man, so
Yeah,
good.
that
Yeah,
is
so
such.
good.
Yeah, that's and I mean, I don't know if you see Metallica live, they sound exactly. They're such a good live. Oh my God, they're so good live. They really
Yeah,
are.
it's so
I
crazy. I've never seen any like giant bands live. I've seen a lot
really
of really cool smaller bands.
okay.
David Lee Roth would be like the closest, but it was the
Mm,
Little Ain't Enough tour. It was after he was kind of done with radio hits. It was his
okay.
last headlining tour, and he wasn't with Van Halen. You know what I mean? But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, it was.
I mean,
Yeah, no.
big bands live. Yeah,
Oh, see, I'm in Texas. I'm in Austin, so we get ACL every year.
sure,
So I've
sure.
seen since I've been here, I've got to see like I mean Foo Fighters. Um, got to see what was her? Oh my God, why am I not remembering her name? And she's so popular. She's huge. Artist. What is her name? She said that song. If you want to come in with me, I know a galaxy, and I can take you for a ride. Why am I not remembering her name? Oh my God. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna get,
who is
I'm gonna,
that?
I'm gonna get slapped in the face because I can't remember her name. Dua Lipa. I saw
Oh,
her last year. She was pretty good. Like I was surprised. Like well, actually I wasn't surprised. She was actually like I mean it was a pop show, but
yeah,
she was good. I mean I
yeah,
felt so out of place,
but
but
yeah,
she was good. Like but yeah, ACL like which is a cool thing. I get to see like like you get a day pass. You go for one day. Like you pick the artist you want to see
right.
on that day and you just go. So I get to see like I saw Foo Fighters twice because they played it twice. Um,
Man.
oh my God, Foo Fighters. Oh my God. Dude, I
I
saw
can't.
them play. I went out to a drum set the next day. Like literally. The first time I saw them play, I saw them years ago in like Florida. And
Right.
like I literally went out and bought a drum set. I was like, I'm gonna play like that. I gotta learn how to play like that. And that was it for me.
Imagine being a drummer and like you're playing in Dave Grohl's band. Like how, I mean, because he's a great drummer, so
There's
like,
there's interviews where they asked him those questions
yeah,
and
yeah,
he's like you could see that he's in the interview he was a little insecure about it because he said what he said he goes I played on he's like I went in and played on this record like he was
right.
like I became good enough to play on this record but I never played on these records or these records he goes Dave played on all these other records it's pretty funny but he was
Yeah,
kind of like you could see you could see that it was something that was weighed on him a little bit, like
yeah,
that, but that he was proud that he got to play later on the other records because
right.
because this, I mean, he even said he goes, I recorded on this record, and Dave went in and re-recorded it. Like he went in, like he even he talks about it candidly. He's like he went in and he's recorded these parts. He goes because I guess they weren't good enough. But apparently, like Dave Grohl's like super perfectionist, and he everything has
Right.
to be a certain way. So like that is what it is. Like that's who he is. But
Yeah.
man, I love the Foo Fighters. They're still one of my favorite bands. They're
Good.
still
Yeah. Yeah.
oh my
Everything
gosh,
about it just grabs you, man. It's so like,
yeah, they're so in your
yeah,
face. You
yeah,
know,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
they're so in your face. I love that band.
yeah. Well, this is my longest interview at this point, man.
I
So
broke a record.
you
No.
did because, yeah, I'm pretty sure you did because Jack Morales was the longest before this, but I think we've gone longer than I did with Rags, man.
Oh man, I'm
Um,
sorry. I didn't mean to
well,
keep
you
you.
are
You had
good, man.
other you
Talk
had other
forever.
plans. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah, but I mean, we could talk forever. The only thing I'm doing is a wrestling podcast later. So, and
Oh,
that's not
nice.
till, yeah. So we just started a new wrestling podcast called Wrestling with
Oh,
Life. Same YouTube channel and Spotify is
okay. Oh no,
yeah,
I'll
we're
subscribe. I'll listen.
under the same stuff as Most Excellent. So
Okay, no, I definitely would subscribe. I mean, I'm always looking
check
for things to listen to when I'm running. So
me and
always.
me and my producer Tyler
Mhm.
and my buddy Tevin, and we've all just been wrestling fans for a long time, and we're all different ages, so we kind
Okay.
of have different viewpoints on different eras, and it's real loose. I just kind of go, well, this is what I want to talk about this week, and then we just talk about it, and it's fun. It's a good time.
What's
But
your favorite? What's your most memorable match you've ever watched?
so probably Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat, WrestleMania
Oh,
3.
okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, because I knew Ricky Steamboat was going to win. Like he was my favorite wrestler at the time, and I we had a WrestleMania watch party at my house, and a bunch of my
Oh wow.
friends came over, and my friend Magnus was a big Randy Savage fan, and he bet me $20 that Savage was going to win. And then, Steamboat won, and we were just going nuts the whole time. And he gave me the $20 and said, "I gladly give you this money." And I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
yeah, so that sticks out, for the whole thing, not just because it was such a great match, but because it was also like a whole atmosphere. And I have the memory of winning the bet and like, yeah, man. So,
That is awesome. That is
yeah,
really, really cool. Yeah,
yeah,
I used to be really into it when I was younger. Not really now that I'm older, but
right.
but I still pay attention because my nephew and my brother, they eat, sleep, they still eat, sleep, and breathe it. Like so whenever I want a refresher, they're happy to sit me down and explain everything to me. Every nuance, every little thing. They're happy to go through. Oh well, this guy is doing this now, and this guy, and I'm like, well, what about this guy? Oh no, he's retired. Yeah, he doesn't. You know what? Like they would just catch me up whenever I happily
Yeah,
would just go
yeah.
crazy.
Casey, my son, when he first started watching wrestling, he was around two-ish, and he decided John
Nice.
and Undertaker were his favorites. And he just, John Cena and Undertaker. He had little action
Okay.
figures. Yeah. And John Cena just turned bad.
Yeah, he just turned heel. Yep, he did. He just turned heel.
Listen, he
Yep.
doesn't watch it with me a lot. Like sometimes he will, but we were watching it and they started playing his song, and just I started going, John Cena sucks,
Oh,
and
I
he
love
looked
that.
at me and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's just funny, but John Cena's a bad guy now." And he
Yep.
was so confused. First of all, he was mad at me for singing John Cena sucks,
But that's
but then
everybody sings that. Everybody sings that when his song comes out. That's what everybody sings.
yeah, he was so confused. He was just like, I don't understand. Like, why is John Cena a bad guy? And I'm just like, buddy, it's just how it happens sometimes.
Yep.
But
Yes. Everybody takes a turn at being heel. You
yeah,
know?
it's his little
Everyone
brainer.
like Roman Reigns was that's the thing. Roman Reigns when he came out, they tried to make him a good guy. Just didn't work. Because
It's not,
he's
and they're
not a good
doing it.
guy.
Yeah, they're doing it again now. But he comes off so sarcastic.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I never thought it worked to him being a good guy. But then when he
yeah,
turned bad, it was
mhm,
oh my god, it was awesome when he did like the storyline, the bloodline storyline. Like
yeah,
that was amazing. Like I kind of got into it again for a little bit watching it. And like we would parody him because when he did that one thing, he was like, you see this ref? I own this ref. You see this? I own this. So me and my brother, like, there was a trip we were on, and the whole time we were like, you see this iPad? I own this iPad. Like so we were just doing that the whole time for everything we saw. It was so funny.
it's
But
great.
but like but like he was awesome when he was a bad guy. Like
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
he is, and then like I remember them trying to make when he first came out, they were trying to make him a good guy. Just never he doesn't look like a good guy. He's just not a good guy. Like he needs to always be the heel. He's always got to be like it works so much better when he's bad. Always,
And
always.
and like, even when he's a good guy, he smirks when he talks, and he's
Yeah, exactly.
like it's just okay. So I understand that CM Punk can be a good guy because people
Yes.
expect wrestling so much, but
Yeah.
CM Punk comes off like such a jerk every time he has a you know, I'm just like this guy. If he wasn't, if people didn't respect his wrestling so much and like his ethics or whatever,
Mhm.
um, I feel like CM Punk should always be a bad guy too. I just think he's so much
Mhm.
better. But
No,
that's
I remember when Hulk Hogan turned heel. I was devastated back in the
man,
day.
man.
I was
You see,
devastated. I was like, what? I was like, wait, that's Hulk Hogan. Why is he have feathers? What is this? I was like, what's going on? Like,
yeah,
oh, it was the total, like, I think that's when I stopped. I got mad. I was like, I'm watching this anymore. I moved on when he
that was
turned
like
heel.
a big explosion. That was the mid '90s when wrestling got
Yeah.
so huge, like
Yep.
bigger than it's ever been. Man, it was nuts.
Yeah. Yep. And that's when I kind of got turned off because I was like, but Hogan's my boy. Why?
Yeah,
Why is he not like I don't understand? Why is he bad? Why is he? It was so funny.
that's
Yeah, that was when he did the Four Horsemen, right? That's when they were doing that, right?
UO. He
Oh,
did that
that's what it was.
New World Order.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. New World Order. Yes, that's what it was. Yeah.
Him and
But
Scott Hall,
yeah,
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 started it.
that was. And then the other one I like was the guy that I forget the name, but he was like delete, delete. He was like, I will delete you.
Oh,
Trying to
Matt
remember
Hart.
that.
Matt Hart.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah,
God. That was awesome.
yeah.
Like
He
that
broke
was really,
Hardy.
really, really good.
Yeah, he's back to kind of doing that stuff a little bit now. Him and
Okay.
Jeff are still they're like they just lost the tag titles in TNA,
Okay.
but they had a match at their ranch where they did
Okay.
all this really weird stuff. Um,
Dude, I love it when they get weird, dude. I
yeah,
love that stuff because it's so funny. Like
right.
it's just funny. Like I
Yeah,
know that some people don't get it. They're like, oh, what are they? That doesn't make any sense. I'm like, no, dude, it's humor. It's like
right,
The
right,
Simpsons. It's Family Guy. It is what it is. Like it's just absurd. That's the point. It's so
right.
absurd. It's funny. You know.
Yeah,
Like I love
like
that stuff. That's oh god, I
Lake
do love that stuff.
the Lake of Retribution or whatever it is that's on their property, and like you get dunked in it, and you come back out, and you're like changed or something. So
Oh
weird.
really? Oh, that's funny.
They have such a weird. But yeah, Matt Hardy's a genius as far as wrestling goes. Like I read their book, and he really knows.
Oh, he
Like
knows.
he's got such a good mind for wrestling. So
I mean, the successful guys like they
yeah,
do. I mean, look, for some reason, The Rock goes and makes action movies, and he keeps coming back.
yep,
Right?
yeah,
He keeps
yeah.
coming back. You can say what you want about him. He keeps coming back. Like, you know, I want to see. Do you think the Undertaker's gonna come back like, ever, or is he done?
Oh, Undertaker's done. Yeah, he's too beat
Done?
up. Yeah, he's actually completely retired now. He
Yeah,
does a
because
podcast.
he.
And yeah.
Oh, does he? Because I mean, he's been retired, and he shows up
Oh,
for WrestleMania.
a while now, yeah. But he does a podcast and he talks about all his injuries and stuff. You know, he's like, yeah, I'm never.
He lives out here in Austin, actually. He
Oh, does
lives
he? Cool.
here.
He's
Yeah,
from.
I've heard people that but they bump. I've heard that people bumping into him, and stuff,
Oh, cool,
and like
cool.
you recognize him, like he's such a big dude,
Oh,
like
yeah,
you recognize him. Like yeah, a
yeah.
friend of mine was telling me he saw him at a store, and I was like, "You saw the Undertaker?" He's like, "Dude, I saw the Undertaker." I was like, "Is he
Right on.
big?" He's like, "Yo, he's big." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's crazy." It's pretty
I
funny.
remember when I moved to Indianapolis. I saw Steven Jackson at the mall my first day here.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, and my buddy Q was like, "Yeah, man, the Pacers just be out here going to the malls and stuff." And I was like, "What?" Like, yeah. And so, yeah, Steven Jackson was at like a bodega in the middle of the mall,
That's
um,
funny.
hitting on some girls. And I was just
Well,
like,
there,
"Are you?"
there you go. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
hey,
And then
you gotta hang out, right? You gotta go where the action is, I guess, right? You gotta go where the people are,
yeah,
right? That's
he
pretty
was
funny.
notorious for going out to clubs and stuff when he was on the Pacers, like
Oh,
just
really?
constantly trying to hook up. And I mean, I'm sure it wasn't hard, you know, but yeah, he was, yeah. But
Funny
and
that
then
call. Like, everybody notices you, you know?
Yeah, and I worked at a Walmart, and I don't know if you know who Greg Oden is because he was kind of a flop, but he was a really early pick. Like he went either number one or three, like somewhere between one and three, and they thought he was going to be a big star, but
Okay.
it didn't work out. But he's from Lawrence, Indiana,
Okay.
so it's just outside of Indianapolis. He was buying lunch meat at the Walmart that I was working at, and this guy's a
Oh wow.
center. So he's like
Oh man.
I mean, like seven, maybe 6'10", like 7 foot, somewhere between. Like he is huge, man, and
Oh
and
shit.
he's still in good shape. And so everyone was coming over, going, "That's Greg Oden. That's Greg Oden. That's Greg Oden." And people were just watching him buy meat, and I was just like, "Well, that's really cool." And then I went back to work. But like, it was crazy how many people were just swarming watching him buy lunch meat. I was just like, man, you know.
That's so funny. It's funny, right? Like how like we get so starstruck about things that we see these people and like, and then there's people, they put their pants on the same way, they but they do something that we can't do, you know?
Right,
They're able
right.
to do something that we can't do, and that makes it even more special. I mean, imagine meeting Jordan. Holy shit. I wouldn't know what
Man,
to
he
say.
can do
I wouldn't know
anything.
what to say. I wouldn't. I would just be like,
Yeah, I met Magic Johnson once.
oh, okay.
It's like, but I mean, it was he was giving a talk, and I paid for a ticket to see him, and then afterwards, he kind of like hung out and shook people's hands and signed autographs and stuff. Um,
Okay, cool.
his management was trying to pull him off. They were like, "Come on, man, this isn't part of the deal. Let's go." And he was like, "Give me a couple more minutes." So he was really cool. Like he was just signing people's stuff, and yeah, but that was
That's
cool.
when I was in New York once, I was walking down Times Square and Denzel Washington had done some play. I don't remember what the play was,
Oh,
but
cool.
the people were lined up, and I'm like, well, I'm just walking down the block. I'm like, oh, these people were lining up for, right? And
Yeah,
Denzel was actually signing autographs, and it was like, when I say people, it was
yeah,
like a few hundred people easy, right? They were just like in long, like, and it wasn't even like one thin line. It was like rows of people, and
yeah.
he was signing autographs. And I forgot who I was with, but like we went out to dinner, we walked around a little bit, and then walked back that same path because I think I had parked my car by there. And he must have been gone for like 3.5 hours, 4 hours. We came back, he was still there signing autographs.
That's wild, man. That's
He was
freaking
still
awesome.
there. I was
Yeah,
like, holy! I mean, it was long enough for us to eat dinner, hang out,
right.
whatever, and then come back, and he was still there. He was still there watching. He was still there. Like,
Dude, Mike Epps comes because he's from Indianapolis. He will come to Indianapolis and drive to the hood and like park in a at a car dealership or something and just start signing autographs. And people will be on
that's
social
cool.
media. Mike Epps is at such and such Chevrolet, and everyone will just go and he's
That's really
super.
cool.
Yeah, he's super cool. I mean, I've never got a chance to meet him, but everybody that I know who's been there when he's done it, like I said, he'll just pull up in front of like a barber shop and just start signing autographs for people. It's freaking wild, man.
That's cool.
But
Like some people are neat that way. Like
yeah,
a friend of mine's like he lives in Jersey and he's got a flat tire. He said Bruce Springsteen pulled over and him change his tire once. Like,
oh,
yeah, he tells the story all the time. He tells the story all
that's
the time, and he's like, yeah. And then like another time, he was in another friend was in Chili's, and Bruce comes in, and he goes to the bathroom, and Bruce walks out of the bathroom. Like, okay,
that,
like, yeah, like he's just known to be like a normal dude. Like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, he like
yeah,
that. And I know I won't say the town he lives in just in case, but I know the town he lives in.
yeah.
Or back then that's where he lived. I don't know if he still lives there anymore, but I know the town of Jersey, and like yeah, so but yeah, like apparently like that's the kind of like some people are just
Yeah. And you
you
get
know
that from music though, like he's so authentic. Like you
yeah,
can feel that Bruce Springsteen
very
means,
authentic person.
he means it when he's singing stuff.
Yeah,
Same with like
and
Joel. I mean, I've heard Billy Joel isn't like a great guy, but I think that he means his songs. His music is very authentic. Like you know, um, so yeah.
didn't he go through an instrumental phase? I remember he said this is the last song I'm gonna sing, and then he went through
Oh,
then he went
he
through an
may.
instrumental phase. So maybe that's what I'm doing right now. I'm pulling a Billy Joe, going through my
Yeah,
instrumental.
he's pulling it. Yeah. I just know songs from the attic, one of the greatest live albums of all time. That's all.
Excuse me. I think there's a I don't know if it's that, but there's
Yeah.
one of his records, his earlier records, he's singing like out of tune,
Oh,
and
okay.
and and there's a story about it, but the take was so good that they
Yeah.
kept it. Like,
Right.
there's
I
all
know.
kinds of cool stories. There's a Led Zeppelin record where you can hear this. I forgot the song, but you can hear the squeak of the kick drum of the kick
Sure.
on the
Yeah,
drum.
yeah,
You
yeah,
hear it
yeah,
in the thing, but the take was so great. They're like, whatever. They just left it
yeah.
in there, you know.
Yeah.
So, but that's what makes the song so good. That's what makes these songs,
The
you know.
real, the real stuff, you know, like that's the stuff you can't replicate, man. Like
And
sometimes that's, yeah,
you
there's some,
can't,
you know, like
no,
now,
you
now
can't.
there's no replicate because it's all digital, but
Yeah, the problem with digital is that it's too clean, it's too perfect, right? That's the
yeah,
problem with digital.
and
But
too compressed sometimes, you know.
yes, yeah, like you have to like when I've worked with producers, I've had to say, hey, can you not compress this so much? Can
You got
you
to spit.
can you leave some headroom? Like let it breathe. Like because everybody just wants to compress everything, and it's just like you don't have to. Like let it breathe. Oh no, but that's what everybody else is doing. No, it doesn't have to be as loud as everybody else. It just needs to sound good. Like you can mastering, you can make it louder in mastering. You don't need to do that when you're in mixing. Like there's a difference, you know, and and yeah, like I've worked with people that all they want to do is just compress the crap out of stuff. That's all they want to do, just more compression.
Yeah,
More.
I bought a stereo, Panasonic, 5 CD surround sound from 1998. I bought it yesterday, and
Nice.
yeah, I picked it up for $300, and I
Oh
feel like
wow.
yeah, 25 disc changer, tape deck. Um, so yeah, I've got to get a turntable for it, but I'm psyched. And I've been playing CDs in it, and the because the newer stuff is meant to come out of this little tiny speaker. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like it's there's not as much room in the music. It definitely sounds different than my older stuff that I put in there. But
Mm,
yeah, it sucks to
it's
kind of know.
interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I was
Interesting.
listening to stuff yesterday, and it's like, man, this doesn't sound as good as like, this album from '95. But I
Oh
guess,
man.
yeah, because people, I mean, I heard that part of the reason why people are compressing stuff so much is because it's gotta come out of a little tiny speaker, so they don't leave as much space in the songs. It's just like, man,
Yeah, well that's the idea because they mix and master now for your iPhone.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
it. That's the problem. Blame Apple. It's Apple's fault.
for sure.
They gave us this great device. They basically changed human history, right? With this device. But then, you know, but but then now we're stuck with this because this everybody has, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I, I mean it's crazy, right? And the thing is, it's hit a wall, right? How many ways can you make this like
right.
there's nothing else you can do. Oh, it can do that. There's nothing else that it can't. There's nothing else that a new phone coming out tomorrow can't do that my phone isn't doing already. Like there's
Or something like,
yeah, it's like I mean I guess AI, right? But like that's still not Apple hasn't
yeah.
been able to pull it off yet. So
But
you know,
I'm you know, it's useful in some ways, like it can correct my punctuation and stuff, but I don't, like we were talking about earlier, making a band out of AI, that's
yeah, I have mixed feelings about it because I hear I've heard I've had friends who worked on who've written tracks and they've used AI to write tracks and it sounds
cool.
great. Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I think what I think it is you have to know how to it's another tool and you have to
right.
know how to use it in your toolbox because
Yeah,
is it how is it more is it different than adding compression or using a plugin to your
sure.
right, is it any different than that because I hear a lot of people complain and go oh my god like this person used AI for this track and I'm like okay but did you just use reverb on your voice
And
right
I
that's
think
an
about
algorithm
Troutman,
huh what was that.
Troutman, the Zap box, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what's right or what's wrong.
yeah,
I just know like if I hear something and it sounds good, I don't really
yeah,
care where it came from. Like,
fair.
I don't, like I think that I think there's a space for it.
Hmm.
Um, as long as you're transparent about it, right? I don't think at the end of the day the average listener gives a shit. They just as
Yeah,
long as I don't think they care. Like I think the only people that care are the musicians and songwriters. That's the only people that care,
right.
right? because they're like, whoa, my bottom line now is like, well, no, it's not about your bottom line. It's about can you use it incorporate it into your workflow. Like that's how
Right.
I see it, right?
If you use
Is
it
I'm sorry?
that if you use it as a tool, that's completely different to me than
Exactly.
you get an AI generated image and say this is the band, and then you
Yes.
take a computer and you program in a song, and then it plays the song. Like that is a different thing than creating a beat with AI or even a backing vocal. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
there's
It's a
nothing.
tool. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly how I see it. It's a tool, and whether you like it or not, like even now, a lot of the apps that I use to record with, they have AI features built into them. You don't have a
sure.
choice. They give it to you. They're like, oh, this does this now. Oh, you want a drummer? Like, they've solved the drumming problem, right? Like, I
Yeah,
mean, that was solved. I mean, how many people were using Easy Drummer 10 years ago,
right.
right? Oh, but now that AI's out, now it's bad. Come
Yeah,
on. Like you were using an algorithm, you were using something that's artificial to create drums 10 years ago, and you had no problem with it whatsoever. Why?
yeah,
Because it's really hard to find to get a drummer into a studio. It's really expensive to get a drummer into a studio and have that drummer record on your song because
yeah,
you don't know who has that time and money, right? And, unless you're a working band, right? Like so it's more convenient for you to program the drums, to do a MIDI, to do it like whatever, and make them sound really convincing, or to sample something and drag it in. It's not really that different. And when you really, and I'm sure people will hate me for saying that, but I don't necessarily think it's that different from what we've already established. I think there's
mhm,
just a pride that comes. I know I'm proud. I sit down, I wrote a track. I'm proud of it, right? There's a pride that
yeah,
comes with it, right? But that aside, it's like for people out there who don't have access to instrumentation and they have a great voice and they just want to hear what it's gonna sound like.
yeah,
But
yeah.
come on, like how could you not take advantage of that? Like how could you not use that to help you bring your sound out? Like like I have a friend who would go, "Can you write a song?" And he'd be like, okay, sure. Based on what? He would go da 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 da. Da. He would come up with some melody. Now he can use AI to generate that melody into a song.
Right.
I don't have to bang my head against the wall and try to figure out what he's trying to convey because he can convey it to something and it'll spit back at him what he wants. Like I think that's awesome for people because he can't play an instrument and nor does he want to play an instrument. He doesn't give a
Right.
shit. He just wants to hear what he hears in his head, right?
Right.
And that's perfect for someone like him. Like he can do that. And is there a lot of shit out there that AI produces? Absolutely, right? Are there are there good songs? Absolutely. But that's the thing too. Just because you can go and program a good song does I
Mhm,
mean a song doesn't mean it's going to be good, right?
right.
There's still nuance. There's still things that AI cannot do, and I don't know if it ever will be able to do. To be honest, I don't know. Because especially with creative stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's always that thing where people we know that something's a little off. Like we know we can feel it. We can even if we like it, there's still something back in your mind is like something's not oh, a computer generated that image. Oh, that's why it
Right.
was weird, right? Like
Yeah.
so so yeah, it's a tool and it's something that I think in time and it's coming very rapidly, you're not gonna be able to avoid it. Like you're gonna use it in some aspect of your songwriting. You don't have a choice because
Yeah.
and you go I get emails all the time from all the plugin people. Try this plugin, try this plugin. Oh, AI has AI features. AI. Like every plugin is gonna have an AI feature in it. Like and it's just gonna you're gonna load it up and it's gonna listen to whatever sound you're playing and it's gonna do an equalizer to it and it's gonna make it sound now. Can you turn it off? Yeah, but it's gonna give
Right.
you a result and you're gonna make a decision whether or not you like that sound and and it's going to be and that's just going to be what it's going to be. Like everyone is on that bandwagon and it's not going away. It's not
Right.
going to, it's only going to get more integrated into everything that we do,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I
sorry.
don't know what the feature is, but as a like when I host a meeting now on Zoom, there's
Mhm.
like an AI companion button that I can hit. I have no idea what it does. I hit it by accident one time and it didn't seem like it did anything. But but it was
But
like AI companion activated and I was like, "What?" But yeah,
yeah,
I mean Zoom,
it's
man.
crazy. Yeah, everything we do has some type of has some now moving forward has some type of functionality in it that's and and it's up to you to embrace it or to hate it. Like, and I know a lot of people. I mean, I look on Reddit, like like you see all the haters out there. It's like on with when somebody goes, oh, I made this using this app, whatever, and they're like, ah, you fucking made it on, that's not you didn't write that song, and then you see it, and it's like, I don't know, man. Like a good track's a good track at the end of the day. I mean, Timberland is huge with
Right.
Suno, right?
Right.
He is the Suno ambassador. Like he like I watched the thing with him like a few months ago, and I was like, I didn't even know what Suno was a few months ago until I
Right.
watched his video with Timberland talking about it. He's like, I could put a track out and I can make 18 different versions of the track, right? He's like, who? Whoa. He's like, his mind was like, he didn't care. He's like, I did this in Suno, I did this in Suno, and now I think he signed the deal. I think he just came out. He signed the deal with Suno. You think Timberland gives a shit if you think he gives
Yeah.
you think he cares? He doesn't
No.
care. He's using it as a tool,
Yeah.
right? To him, it's a tool that now he can actually take a song that he's working on and he can flip it and make different versions of that song. Like that's what he
Right.
was saying. He was like, see, he's like, now I got a like a. He was like, now I got a hip hop version of the song. He's like, now I got a
Right.
pop version of the song. He goes, he
Right.
goes, this artist sent me this thing and I flipped it back to her. He goes, I worked on it and then I flipped it and then I gave her these other versions, right? And he goes, now, and what he says is true. And I think that's probably what gave me the idea to work on like another kick in the ass to like to try to do different types of music was because he said the day is coming when an artist is gonna put out a song and they're gonna have 8 different versions of that song. So like you might
Sure.
be a metalhead and you might like and you might like the metal version of that song. You might like the hip
Right.
hop version of that song. You might, and now because of the technology we have, you have that ability to just take your song and you can morph it, right?
Right.
With the use of these tools to with doing it a hell of a lot cheaper than having to hire musicians and have to hire all this stuff. Like you can just engineer it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Don't
I'm
know
not
either.
judging,
See how it
right? I'm
goes.
not judging, right? As a songwriter, I ain't judging, but that's what it is. Like people are gonna use it and people are gonna do it. And I'm telling you, there's gonna be an artist that's gonna put out a song, a multi-genre song, right?
Right.
But now someone's gonna listen to this and like, oh my god, yeah, I'm doing that tomorrow, right?
Right.
Like someone's gonna put out a multi-genre song that's gonna
Yeah.
appeal to every single genre because now there's nothing holding you back from doing it. I
Right.
mean, there's nothing holding you back from that. Like you can totally just sit there and just like you can have a country version of your song, you can have this version of your song, and that version of your song. It doesn't matter.
To an extent, stuff like that has already happened. Like I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember. This is just an example that's coming to my head, but there was a band called Brother Kane. They had a
Okay.
song called "Hard Ass to Follow," and it was a ballad. And then they put out a guitars up version,
Okay.
which the main version was mostly just piano.
Okay.
But then they took this other version where the piano was kind of pushed to the back and the guitars were up front, and I liked that version a lot better. And it also had a really cool piano solo at the end of it. But yeah, I mean, they turned it into a rock track for people who wanted to hear, and I'm sure they did that on their own with the
Mm-hmm.
instruments, but it's not a new concept to like release
No.
different
Well, I mean,
of
yeah,
the same song with to appeal to different crowds. Same with
yeah, like an
Shania
acoustic version.
used to have country versions and pop versions of all of her songs, and look how
Yeah.
that worked out for her. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but that's the thing, and but now you can do it at such a rapid. You can do it. I mean, you can literally change genre. I have a friend who sent me a track. He sent me acoustic, and then he
Mhm.
sent me a hip hop, and then he sent me like a more alternative rock of the same track, and I was like blown away. And he's like, see, he's like this because he's trying to convince me. He's like, yo, you got. I'm like, I'm good. I got enough on my plate right now, right? And
you
then
know,
and like. I'm like, I'm sitting there trying to write a track every week. Leave me alone.
right,
And
yeah,
like,
you're
and I'm like, how the hell? I'm like, this is crazy. And like, I was so like, wow, with it. And like, I'm like, and it's his voice singing on it and everything. He just had the instrumentation done, and he produced it, and it sounds great. And I hope he releases it. And like, you know,
honestly, like if you listen to stuff like Fatboy Slim or Groove Armada or Paul Oakenfold, you can't really have a problem with people doing stuff like that. You know, I
you
mean,
you can't. But
Yeah,
man, the haters are real, man. I see the
that's
vitriol. Is that the right
unfortunate.
word? I see it.
Yeah,
But the thing is, it's like everybody hates what they don't understand either,
yeah, for
right?
sure.
Like everyone hates what they understand, and it's new. It's like this weird thing, and it's like it can do this thing, and
Right.
like and so people hate it until it becomes normalized, and then it
Yeah.
becomes normalized, and then nobody cares. But I
I
keep
know.
saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, you're fine. I was just gonna say I know that there's talk like writers are nervous because eventually Hollywood will be able to input the elements that they want in a script and AI will write the script for them and there
Oh,
won't be any
let me tell
for
you something.
script. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If I was an actor right now and I got like a big break on a movie, right?
Yeah.
I would, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, and I
Yeah.
say I had a future, and like, and I made a big movie. It came out, and it made a lot of money, and I had all these movies lined up, and I was gonna make all these movies. I
Yeah.
would let them digitize me, right? Right? I would let them do it, right? But I would sign a deal where they could use me forever, right?
Oh,
But they would have to pay me forever.
sure.
Right? It wouldn't be like a one time we can digitize you. No, it would be a deal where, and I'm surprised. Like, I mean, it's still new, so maybe an actor hasn't gotten it, but like you're
Right.
like imagine like if we were to get like the original core, like Mark Hamill, and Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford. Like, oh, think of
Yeah.
all the Star Wars we could get today if we had it.
Man.
But no,
Remember
but think about it,
when
right? But think about it,
yeah.
right? So like I'm sure some actor and some studio's gonna come up with some deal in perpetuity, and then you set rules on how you can be used and when you can. You set all these rules. You have everything in writing, right? And but you got to pay me in perpetuity so that my family is great for generations after I'm gone. They're still getting paid. You're still making movies with me in them, and I'm long gone, and I still look like me, right?
Yeah.
But everyone in my family is still getting paid. It's like signing that super big baseball deal for 15 years, but instead it's for life, right? As
Right.
long as you're making money using me, I'm getting paid, right? And even if and that means like I have a catalog, right? So that catalog's making money, it's getting paid, right? And you try to make it as loophole resistant as possible, obviously, right? But I
Right.
think something like that, I think I could see an actor or actors doing that because think about it, you'll be in movies forever. Imagine if Harrison Ford was digitized, like I'm in all the Indiana Jones movies we'd get, or like even like go back to Mark Hamill. Imagine all the Luke Skywalker shit we could get that we never got, right?
Yeah.
What did we get with Skywalker? We got like a 20-second sequence on the Mandalorian at the end of season 2 that I literally was in tears watching because I waited my whole life to see Luke Skywalker kick ass, and I finally got to see it. I was
Right.
literally, I'm getting choked up now just thinking about it. Literally in tears. All these years, that's all we got, right? Imagine if that motherfucker was digitized. Imagine if we could get more of that shit. Instead, we get a
Right.
new actor, which is fine. That's great. We get a new actor, but
Yeah.
then I guess that puts like actors out of right new
Right.
act like you can't.
Think
But
about King and
but
stuff.
yeah, but they're so but those roles are so iconic. Like you want to see those actors play. You don't want to see somebody else play those roles. Like you don't. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm still sour on that, man. We got that one scene of him kicking ass, and then that's it. Like nothing else. Where that's all we ever got. Like don't even get me started. Like I'm a huge nerd with Star Wars and Star
Star
Trek.
Wars movie I ever saw at the theaters. So
Really? Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
1977.
Okay.
For
Yeah,
yeah,
I saw the reissue. I
I
I
saw.
I I, I saw the reissues. I got to see the reissues. But
Yeah,
yeah, like I remember being really small. My dad like talking about Star Wars and like saying how great it was and how we're gonna watch it one day, son. I remember him, and I was like, what's that? And I remember watching it. But I think this is crazy. I think the first like science fiction movie I watched with my dad was Alien on
oh
VHS. And
wow,
after
that's
that, I was like, I don't want to watch this shit. If Star Wars is like this, I don't want to watch this. I was
yeah,
terrified. I
yeah.
was like, why would you put that as a first movie to watch with? Like, my mom was like, why would you watch that with him? Like, what is wrong with you? It was
Right.
so funny. He was so happy about it. He's like, we're gonna watch Alien, because he had
It's gonna
saw
be
it, before, and he went to the video store and saw it, and he grabbed it. He was excited, and he's like, we're gonna watch this tonight. I was I couldn't sleep for like days after that movie. I thought that alien thing was coming after me every single night. I thought that thing was hovering over my bed. Oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
that was. Yeah, but Star Wars to me that's sacred. Like I love the I love the original trilogy. I will always be a fan
too.
and a lover of that, and I will always be overcritical about it too. I will always that's where I'm a hater because I'm like, no, that's not lore. That's not that's not where it came from. And my brother
I
too. My brother who's way younger than me. He's a big he came up during the prequels, the one, two, and three.
sure.
So he loves Darth Vader, Anakin. Like that's his character. So
Yeah, I
he's
love
Anakin.
Dark.
Yeah, no, he loves like. I was
Yeah,
shocked too. I was like, wow, you love Anakin. Like he's like, yeah, dude, Anakin's the. He's like, that's the best story. And I'm like,
killed
and when you
a
think
bunch,
about
man.
it, it really is.
Killed a bunch of babies, but
Huh?
yeah, I said Anakin Skywalker killed a bunch of kids. You
He
know,
did.
that's
Yeah,
cool, man.
oh yeah, he did. He
Yeah,
did. He did kill a bunch of
yeah,
kids.
babies, dude. It's not cool.
Nah,
But
not cool. He killed all the younglings. But
yeah,
I mean, every tragic story it has good. I mean, good and
that's
bad.
like I watched the Hunger Games prequel,
Okay.
and you can't root for the guy because the whole time you know he's going to turn into freaking Aldous Snow.
Uh,
You he's not gonna love this girl. You know he's gonna freaking betray his best friend. You know he's not gonna do the right thing. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and they try to make you root for him because they put him in this love story and they put him in this situation where him and his friend are kind of like they've got each other's backs, you know. But in the end, you know he's gonna abandon her, and you know he's gonna betray his friend, and you know he's gonna choose like the government and power over love and loyalty. You know it. And it's just like, I
oh
was
yeah.
hoping it was a cool story, but knowing what was going to happen, I was just like, I can't,
Yeah.
I can't
I
do
never
it.
got into the Hunger Games movies.
I watched
I
Hunger
think I saw
Games.
the first one.
Yeah, I watched it way late because to me, the idea of children killing each other for food did not appeal to me. but I was bored. And I was like,
You
I'm
make it
gonna.
sound so terrible. You like
That's
you.
what it is,
I mean,
dude.
that is what it is. You're right. You're right. But man, you make it sound way worse. Like it's supposed to
Yeah,
be entertainment, but I
right.
guess not.
You
Like,
know, when I finally watched it, I was like, I'll just watch it like they're competing and there's drama and and it's good. It was well put together. It was fun, But that prequel, it just seemed like such a bad idea because this guy is going to grow up to be the biggest asshole in the universe.
wow.
It. It's just like, yeah,
I mean,
but
the same could be said about. I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry,
yeah,
I lost my train of thought.
too. I mean, Darth Vader, for as evil as he was, wasn't all evil. He was corrupted, you
Yeah,
know.
he was. Well, he was
And
lied to. He was
yeah,
lied to.
yeah, and
Unfortunately.
when he dies, you kind of have sympathy for him, you know.
Yes, you do.
So, so I could see how you could get behind like that story because there's a bit of a redemption at the end.
There
He
is. I mean, he
throws
saves his
himself
son.
in the emperor. Yeah, he saves his son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
So I mean,
sacrifices himself. He
right.
becomes Anakin again. I
Yeah.
mean, but remember, Darth Vader. But the way the way it is like Darth Vader is a different person. He becomes a different person. That's not like Anakin is dead. Anakin, he's a different persona completely. And then he
Sure.
becomes Anakin again at the end of
Right.
the story to save his
Right.
son.
Right.
And yeah, like it's funny because I was talking to my brother about it the other day, and it's like the only two complete stories you have in Star Wars right now are Darth Vader's story arc and
Right.
Andor's story arc, which is
Mm,
weird, right?
yeah.
Because Andor, oh my god, that series is really good. It's
Like,
slow burn, but it's really well done.
yeah.
But you have Andor's arc completely done. Right? You have his story, and you have Darth Vader. And my brother's like, "You're right. Those are the only two complete arcs that you really have in the live
Yeah.
action." And like that's it. Like all these years, that's all you got. You don't even really got Luke. I guess you got Luke, but I don't even know what that was.
Uh, yeah.
I've never walked out of a movie theater conflicted. Like I walked out of there and I was like, I don't know what I just saw. Like I was just like, was it good? I don't know. Like, was it bad? I don't know. Like I had no idea what I had to process. I never have to process movies. I either walk out of there and be like, oh, that was good, or that sucked. I walked out of The Force Awakens and I was just like, I don't know. I don't know what
No.
I,
Yeah.
I was like, I just couldn't. I had to really think about it. I was like, what happened? Like he
Hmm.
just OD'd on the force and
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah.
Like
Just
but he didn't really do nothing. He wasn't really there. Like he was an angry old man. He became an angry old man, and it was just like, but would he really become like? I don't like. It was just like a lot of like what and think about it, all everybody wanted to see was Luke Skywalker kick ass. That's all we wanted to see.
For
That's all
sure.
we wanted to see. You want to see that motherfucker show up his lightsaber and fucking beat the shit out of everybody. Do some
Right.
Force stuff, you know.
Yep.
Do Luke
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah.
What we've what I've read in the books. Like I want to see that. Never and like we got it in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still watch that. I'll YouTube that and I still get all teared up. I'm like, oh my god, that's because it hit every note. Like it just hit every. It's it hit every and if that's all we're ever gonna get, then fine, so be it.
Yeah.
But at least we
Yeah.
got it. Like at least we got it. I mean, there's plenty of videos of people crying watching that thing. There's plenty of reaction videos to that. Like
Yeah.
probably the greatest gift they gave to Star Wars fans was that moment.
Right.
Because it was what we all wanted to see. Like
Right on.
you know. But
Yeah.
yes, sorry, I
You're
go
good,
off on
brother.
tangents.
No, you're
I'm a
good.
tangent talker.
So I want to say something real quick.
Sure.
Yeah, my phone is just about dead. So
Oh, okay.
we're gonna have to wrap up. We have
Okay.
no choice at this point. But do you remember the Eddie Murphy joke about Darth Vader? Because I'm a big young Eddie Murphy fan.
I do not remember the joke
Okay.
about Darth.
So he's like, you have Darth Vader, this sleek black vision, and then you open him up, and he's a shriveled up old white man. It was freaking
Oh
hilarious.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
that
super. Yeah, yeah. So that's whenever I think about Darth Vader dying, I also think about Eddie Murphy calling him a shriveled up old white man. So I thought that was funny. But
yeah, but the voice he wasn't a white man. He was black.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
James Earl Jones, man, that voice is iconic.
So awesome. Yeah, James Earl Jones, Morgan Freeman, John Cena at this point. No, but I think John Cena is getting there. Like he does so many overdubs and commercials and stuff now. You hear his
Mhm.
voice. That's John Cena doing that commercial. That's John Cena doing that intro. That's John Cena. That guy is making money. Like he knows what to do.
Oh
So
yeah, no, and dude, have you seen the Peacemaker?
yeah. Oh, so good. I can't wait for the next season.
I mean, I can't
Oh
either. Dude, he's so good in that show. He is
yeah,
so good.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
gosh.
So good.
I
Yeah.
I hope it continues to do well, and maybe we get a Peacemaker movie or something because it's so good. Like his character is so awesome. His character, like I love it.
He was in
Huh?
he was in the Suicide Squad. That was kind of what started the whole thing.
Yeah, and
What
then yeah,
he was in the Suicide Squad, so that was
yep, and then it
cool.
morphed into the series, and all those characters in that series are great.
They're
Like
great.
that whole cast is really good.
Oh my lord! Like
When I
the
when
vigilante.
I watched that show, when I watched it, I even watched. You know how you can skip the intro when you're binge watching a show?
You watch the thing to see the dance and the eagle
Yeah,
and
I never skipped it. I watch it every single episode.
yeah, yeah,
I
of
didn't
course.
skip it.
Never skip intros. I don't understand it. Like okay, so one of my favorite show of all time probably is Happy Days. Um,
Mm,
that theme song is also probably one of my favorite songs. And
mm.
every time I watch Happy Days, I want to hear, Sunday, Monday.
And
I want to
Monday,
hear
happy days. Yeah.
that, man. And just like Star Trek, I couldn't imagine skipping over These Are the Voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Like, why would
Enterprise.
you do
Oh
that?
my God. Yeah, you're right.
So,
You know,
yeah, it's just not
Strange
gonna
New
happen.
Worlds is ending. They announced it. They're going five
Oh,
seasons, and that's it.
yeah. And so I love the original series, and I haven't watched much beyond that in the movies. Like,
Oh, I
so
watch everything Star Trek. I don't even care, even if it sucks. I love science fiction, so I watch anything. I'll sit through the bad stuff and
yeah.
just find hopefully something's good in the bad stuff. Like
Well,
but
when I was a kid, I was one of those people that we've kind of talked about who was like, uh, you know, the original's the best, and you can't top it.
mhm.
And so, like, New Generation came out, and it was all high tech and like not not my Star Trek. And so I just didn't watch it, which was a mistake, obviously. but,
Oh,
but yeah, and
I love Next Gen. I love them all. Like
I still watch it.
I
But
consume anything Star Trek. I don't care. I love anything Star Trek, Star Wars, even the bad stuff. Like, well,
yeah,
actually, no, Star Wars. I didn't watch that one series because like people who review stuff
Yeah.
stopped reviewing it because it was so bad. They were like, I'm not even watching. There were people out there who were like, I'm not even watching the episode. I'm not reviewing it anymore. We're
Oh wow.
done. I forgot the
Wow.
I forgot the I forgot the series, but that was that one star series. And so I got because I usually like to wait a few episodes before I start watching it, just so that I
Yeah.
can kind of like watch
Get a
continuously.
little
So
up on
so
it.
they had
Yeah.
got to like the third or fourth episode, and like every reviewer that I follow was like, I'm not
It's,
reviewing it anymore. I'm not watching it. That's how bad it was. They were like, it's not that it's like a cultural thing bad.
uh,
It's just bad writing. It's just a bad story.
right.
It's just not good. Like it had
Right.
nothing to do with anything. There was no politicalness behind it or anything. It was just like it just was not good. And so I was like, well, I guess I'm not watching that. I just gave
Right.
up. Wasn't doing
So
it.
my three like favorite fictional characters, kind of like my icons of cool, are Captain Kirk, the Fonz, and Ponch from
Captain Kirk.
Kit.
Oh, Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk is my OG. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm
so
Captain Kirk and Luke Skywalker and Captain Kirk are my top two. I don't know if
I
it's
love
top three.
and I love Han Solo,
Oh,
but
Han, yeah.
but Captain Kirk, the Fonz,
Kirk,
and Ponch.
man.
Yeah,
There's
actually,
rumors that. Huh?
I'm trying to figure out a way to get my phone to charge and stand up at the same time so we can finish this. But I had a buddy who made me a graphic that I could use as a wallpaper, and it was
Uh-huh.
an iceberg,
Uh-huh.
and it had Captain Kirk at the top, and Fonzie in one corner and Ponch in the other.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, because they're the three coolest. so yeah,
Yeah, I
but yeah,
definitely.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. Um,
Okay.
but thank you so much, man.
Oh,
Let people
yeah.
know where they can find you. One thing that I will say, partially because I'm a huge music fan, and partially because, man, I'm not even on the screen anymore. There we go. Partially
Yeah.
because I do this podcast and I like to keep up on what's going on. I subscribe to a lot of different newsletters and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
you are by far the most active
Oh, thank
newsletter.
you.
Yeah, you do an awesome job of putting it out like every week and keeping up with letting people keep up with what you're doing. So that's really freaking cool. But
Thank
you're welcome.
you.
But you want to let people know where they can find you, how they can get on the
Sure.
new list, where they can hear your music,
Sure. You can find me at wildeynes.com, WILDEYNES.com. Also, if you go to my site, I'll send you a free CD. So of my latest record, I'll do a just cover shipping, pay for the cost of shipping, and I will send you a CD for free. I'll even throw in stickers with it too, and a personalized note too. So
awesome.
I'll send you a funny message, tell you how much I love Luke Skywalker or something. Who knows? It's random. I'm like, hey, thank you. Luke Skywalker's the best. Bye. No, but yeah. So you can go to my website. On the page there, you'll see a link there, and hit me up on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm active. I reply. You want to have a conversation. You want a song you want written about something. Hit me up with a subject or a word or something, and I'll flip it back. But also get on. If you want to get on my mailing list, just go to my website. Happy to add you to it and send you a track every week so that you can hopefully you can use it for relaxation or just as background music as you're working or because I think it's important to have something to help the brain kind of decompress because Lord knows I need it. So but yeah, so yeah, please, feel free. Like, again, I'm happy to send out my music to anyone who wants it. So,
Awesome. So, man, I'm glad that we got to get together and do this because you have a lot
likewise,
of qualities that I admire, which I
thank you.
knew before we started the podcast. But man, we just had like a 3 hour conversation, and
Oh
this
my
is the
God.
first time we've ever talked. You know what I mean? So, man, it was really cool talking to you. Thank
Likewise.
you so much for doing this. And
Oh, same for you.
as always, I have to thank Tyler Martin and Emmy Studios. Um, and I have to thank everybody for listening. I love the fact that the podcast is growing. That man, uh, I, I just I can't even express how grateful I am for the fact that I get to do this and people are actually paying attention to it. It's really really cool, man.
No,
So
it is very.
yeah,
I'm very grateful that you reached out to me, and I'm very grateful that you allowed me to come on here and talk with you. It was great talking, and I really felt like I was talking to one of my friends. So I appreciate that. Thank you for making me feel comfortable.
I appreciate that. So, everybody, we've got some big stuff coming up. We just booked most of the rest of July, and I'm not going to reveal it. Just tune in, and
I will. Absolutely.
tune in every week for more most entertainment.